Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Cobra Kai Multiverse, Part 3. So in this timeline, Daniel and Johnny would take young Mike Barnes inside, another portal would start to open, and out of this portal would walk out Miguel, Kyler, and his friends. They would be from the What If Miguel Was the Bully timeline. And Miyagi-Fang Miguel would walk up to this alternate version of himself. He would ask where they were from and what they were doing here. Robbie would walk up next to Miyagi-Fang Miguel, and Bully Miguel would look at Robbie. He would be surprised to see this Robbie standing and well, and he would ask Robbie if he remembered what happened the last time they fought. Robbie would be confused, so Bully Miguel would laugh, and he would say that he would be happy to remind him. This is when Hawk would stand beside them. He would say if they wanted to fight Robbie, they were gonna have to fight him first. But Kyler would have a moment of realization. He would laugh and point at Hawk. He would tell Bully Miguel that Hawk was Lip, the same kid they used to make fun of. Bully Miguel and the rest of Kyler's friends would make fun of Hawk. Hawk would be mad, and he would start fighting Kyler. Kyler would want to use the silver bullet technique on Hawk, but Hawk would now know how to defend himself. Miyagi-Fang Miguel and Robbie would start fighting Bully Miguel and the rest of his friends, and the Miyagi-Fang students would take out Bully Miguel and the rest of his friends, and the Miyagi-Fang students would detain them. Daniel and Johnny would come outside, and they would see everything that happened. Daniel would decide to make a phone call, and about an hour later, the Mike Barnes from this timeline would show up. Daniel would be happy to see him, and Mike Barnes would ask what was going on, but Daniel would say that it was better that he showed him. So Daniel would take Mike Barnes inside the Miyagi-Do dojo. Daniel would tell Mike Barnes to brace himself, and they would walk into a room, and Mike Barnes would be face to face with his younger self. Mike Barnes would be confused, and he would ask how this was possible. Daniel would explain that this Mike Barnes was from a different universe, a universe in which he was trained by Mr. Miyagi in the ways of Cobra Kai. Mike Barnes would be speechless and wouldn't know what to say, and both Mike Barnes would look at each other in amazement. Daniel would leave the room, so both Mike Barnes could talk. Daniel and the rest of the Miyagi-Fang senseis would go deal with Bully Miguel. Johnny would try talking to Bully Miguel, but Bully Miguel wouldn't want anything to do with Johnny. He would say that Johnny abandoned them, and that he showed weakness by siding with the enemy. Miyagi-Fang Miguel would ask him why he was doing the things that he did, and Bully Miguel would explain that in his universe, he joined Cobra Kai so that he could fight back against Robbie and his friends, and by joining Cobra Kai, he got his payback on Robbie. And inside the Miyagi-Do dojo, both Mike Barnes would continue talking. The older Mike Barnes would tell his younger self that he needed to change and that he needed to put his anger in check. He would tell him that he did a lot of mistakes in his life. He would tell him that Terry Silver and Mr. Miyagi didn't care about him, that they were only using him to put Cobra Kai on top. He would say that he should stop using karate to win competitions and instead use his skills to help people. He would say that he should use his hands for something other than fighting. And later on that day, Daniel and Amanda would be talking. Daniel would try explaining everything that happened. This is when they would get a knock on the door, and Daniel would go see who it was. It would be Kyler wearing a Miyagi-Do gi. Daniel would be even more confused. Miyagi-Do Kyler would ask Daniel for help. He would say that he didn't know what was going on. He would say that he was waxing the cars, and all of a sudden a portal opened, so he walked through, and next thing he knew, he was in a different universe, a universe where everything was different. He would say that he didn't know what was going on. He would say that he came here because in his universe, Daniel was his sensei, and he figured he could help him. So Daniel would take Kyler to the Miyagi-Do dojo. Everyone would be surprised to see Kyler there, wearing a Miyagi-Do gi. Hawk wouldn't trust Kyler, and he would tell him that he'll always be a bully, but Kyler would say that wasn't him anymore, and he would apologize to Hawk and the rest of the Miyagi-Fangs for all the things that Kyler from this timeline has done to them. He would say that the Kyler from this timeline wasn't a bad person, and that he needs to be shown the right way. Meanwhile, in a different timeline, Kreese and Mike Barnes would be training their students. This is when the Cobra Kai Mr. Miyagi would walk in the dojo. Mike Barnes and Kreese would be surprised to see Mr. Miyagi alive and well. Kreese would be angry, and Mr. Miyagi would say that he could make their students unstoppable. And that is where I'm going to end part 3. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you guys want to see part 4 in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.